I forgot I have my skull with me. Yes.
Hey,
Start to go to the island of what now? A burial isle. Oh. And seemingly what will happen is we will jump into the hole, and then Act 4 will start, and I can only imagine it's a short act since it's point of no return once you do that. Find the court of penitents. Reach the shores of the burial isle. Somewhere in the island, the court of the penitents offers a way into Brieth Emon and to Sun in Shadow.
this does look like Theos' kind of place.
Oh, a ghost?
I remember when I was a girl,
Wait a
and the
minute.
missionaries came and told us about the gods. They said we could see them in the stars.
Do know you, right? We've seen you before.
I remember when I heard that, I snuck out at night and climbed the watchtower in the old fort because I wanted to see them better. That fort burned down a few years ago when we cast the missionaries out. It was the missionaries who set fire to it. They didn't want us to be able to use it. Shame. There was history in that fort.
Do a lot worse if they ever return. Those missionaries are all inquisitors now. Strange to think they're the same people underneath. I suppose you would know. You called this place home once. Do you worry about it? No, I've been through worse. It's been through worse. I try to remind myself of that. It's nice to have the reinforcement.
I miscalculated many things since this began. I'm relieved you weren't one of them. It's a good thing we didn't hang you. I always knew this path would have consequences, but I never wanted to see Kratom suffer on my behalf. I don't think I can stay here any longer. I am told the Inquisition is gathering an army, that they have sent messengers to bargain with rulers from distant lands. Kratom is not built to withstand a siege. If war is coming, I should be doing what Theos is doing. I will need allies. Allies on a stronghold that can resist an invading army.
Have you thought about Oceanus? Have you no idea? Oceanus?
Oceanus.
There we go.
They have held off many would-be invaders, and their king has no love of the Inquisition's faith. I wonder, would he listen?
Who knows? Oh. Oh, phantoms. And a feral druid, huh? Sorry, but none of you will stand a chance against me. Most likely going to demolish all of you. Like, horribly. Yes, Alf, I know, you take damage when you attack. Stop fucking bitching. Do click on the thing first, clearly.
Hey.
Ah.
All right then. Hey.
Round. What is this now? Is this a corpse? A body. Last blade of the White Forge. Oh boy. Looks pretty cool. Attack speed. Exceptional. It is a normal sword, but it's pretty cool. That's interesting. Probably very interesting lore, but yeah, move on. I need to collect a bunch of souls. Uh. Or? Off passage. Oh. Sorry, ducks. No, sorry. You're dying. You venture through a doorway into an underground tunnel. A staircase coils upwards, leading to a dim passage. The upper level, light filters through the collapsed ceiling. A wall of piled stones and rubble blocks the way ahead. Reception or clear door with a pry bar. For now.
All right then.
Check out the rest of the place first. Grotto of Echo. You sure? I mean, it doesn't look like there's anything there, so. Or so.
Yes.
Fire is better. Okay. So he's gonna use some. Stuff. Okay.
You're not getting through me. You're not getting. That's it. Leave it to me.
Yeah, you guys can teleport however much you want. It's not really gonna change anything. You can't really hurt me that much. You can't really withstand my attacks, so kind of screwed. You better hope that they don't have vessels to fight me with, because oh boy, will I just destroy them. Oh, you're surrounded. Congrats. Died. No.
Of course.
Ooh, Flanska Warpaint. This Sanguithan Adraban Amulet. Plus 3 might. Pizza, I don't think anyone.
Hey.
That's it? That's already. Constitution. Perception. Do you want that? That. Plus 3 perception. Yep,
Hey.
alright. Nothing we can really use. This is a lot of dudes. The ones was here. Who might this be? There's a lot of spirits. Can I do anything about them? What are these weak? Fire? I mean, I can always do this, but I think it's a waste.
How may I help?
Don't do much.
it to me!
Here we go.
All right, then.
Oh, yes, that block path leads me up here. Only imagine as if I needed the shortcut. Yes, the pit. Your ghost? With him?
Another turn, Inquisitor.
Right.
I ask again, Jovara Ixensios, do you confess to these heresies of which you stand accused? Do you confess to apostasy?
I don't know what that means.
I confess to renouncing a mistake.
Do you confess to conspiracy against the one true faith?
According to you.
I confess to opening minds.
Do you confess to false prophecy?
I confess to following a false prophet.
Indeed. And where might we find this heretic?
He wears the robes of a Grand Inquisitor.
You have no followers here, heretic. Your lies hold no sway in the court of the penitents.
Only my truth, then.
Another turn.
No! Wait! Wait! I'm ready. I'm ready.
You are ready to give a confession?
I'm ready to hear one from you.
Well done.
If this doesn't inspire faith in the gods, I don't know what will.
Leap into the pit. Save as this is a point of no return. Let's go! A great pit lies in the shadow of the statue of Boudica. No light from the surface reaches the bottom, but even so you catch flickers of a ghostly glow in the depths. The wind from the pit buffets you. It isn't cold, but it races loose flesh along your arms. The wind carries a whisper, low and sibilant. So you look into the pit, souls gather around you. They encase you in the cloud of essence that swirls around your body while you consider your next move. Jump into the pit. You jump, trusting in the promise of the gods and the power of the souls to bear you safely down. The sudden drop takes your breath away, but the souls catch you, encasing you in a shining, thrumming aura. But while they slow your descent, you can still feel you are falling faster than you should. The essence flowing around you is strong but chaotic. You find yourself drifting towards the wall. Lagina falls with you for a moment, but seems oddly buoyant during her slow descent, feathers fluttering silently along her arms and the sides of her face. Suddenly, her golden eyes grow wide as she shouts out, "Look out, the wall." Athletic 7, flip, directing yourself to descend back to the pit. Take control of the souls to guide yourself to safety. Resolve. Okay, athletics. You steer yourself to the safety of open space. You manage to spread your arms and legs into an X, steadying your position and the rate of your descent. You start to feel more comfortable until you notice that Rex is still falling too fast. Rick's plummets flailing and out of control. You could attempt a rescue, but the ground is approaching fast. It will take a feat of speed and agility to avoid injury. Athletics of 5. Doesn't he have that? No, actually, he doesn't. I think wait. Does he not? Surely he does. I forget. Doesn't he? Athletics of 5? Shit! I don't remember what he has. No, probably not. Die for him then. The ground is racing fast and you're not quite fast enough. You snatch Rick's out of free fall, but you're unable to regain control of your own momentum in time. You take the brunt of the impact, landing hard against the millennia-old stones of the Court of Penitence. Oh, so I got 1 injury. That's whatever. Your party is considered high level for the content in Act 4. Oh, what a surprise. If you would like, the critical path can be increased in difficulty to give you more of a challenge. The rewards you will receive will be the same regardless of the option you choose. We've kept going with high level so far. We'll keep going with high level, I guess. So as to not make this too much of a landslide victory. We want some kind of suspense.
After what seems like an eternity, your rapid descent comes to an abrupt end. You remain still for a moment while your heart settles and your eyes adjust, breathing in stale, forgotten air. Before you, a narrow and eroded walkway becomes faintly visible in the dim light, cutting a winding path through a cavern so expansive it seems a world unto itself. In the distance, you can make out the cold gleam of living Adra veins that spike and fork in and out of view from the murky depths beneath. Their glow a faint and fleeting guide along the ancient trail. You look above at the opening you jumped through, now barely a speck of light like some distant star alone in the cosmos and forever out of reach. Your only way lies ahead.
Oh wow, look at these.
That went better than I expected. Everyone all right? No shattered knees? Good. Just me then.
What are you talking about? I've got a broken rib cage. Bruised rib cage. -4 constitution. Well, that sucks. Doesn't it? Oh, 12 now. That's annoying. Feel bad. Why did my constitution have to be here? I don't want to take a rest.
Hey.
I can go with 12 constitution. What would I have otherwise? -4, I would have 16. Percentage in health and endurance. What do I have in relation to everyone else? I would have less endurance than fucking Rex. So I can't take that much damage. Ooh. Fucking nice, I guess. That'll be +1. I think I should probably that max endurance instead of just normal.
Hey.
I think it will be fine. Covered the pit. Okay. I know. So that's... How long did this last for? This lasts for 3 minutes. No. 2.5. Yes, that's 2.5. These things are 2.5. Okay, yeah, all of it is 2.5. This is longer. Oh, plenty. Let's just chug some meat. Go all out.
Hey.
Didn't realize we
I'll
were
see
gonna
what
be
I can
dealing
find.
with traps. Also, those traps just fucking missed, question mark? Yeah, the traps just did nothing. It's kind of funny, to be honest. Kind of hilarious. Attack! You're about to get fucking destroyed. Sorry, but you cannot win. And chain lightning again.
Slowly now.
I really like this chain lightning.
You're not. Leave it to me. You're not getting through.
Oh no, you teleported behind me. What a shame.
Leave it to me.
For you.
For Anthony. Hey. All right then.
Ooh, an Audra animate. What a surprise.
That's not very helpful.
What can you do? Exactly that, sure. Might as well. It's free
Leave it
after
to
all.
me. Leave it to Leave it to me.
Probably lead with him having the bow and then switch to knives when I feel like I can
course.
utilize him. Having him rush, since he's so fucking fast, having him rush into combat is maybe not the maybe not the plan. You know?
Leave it to me.
Like there are better options. Ouch. Yeah, I take a lot of damage.
Hey.
Most likely. I mean, I could always knock myself out and then revive. No, that wouldn't take
Hey.
away the bruises. Would it? I feel like it wouldn't. So apparently they're gonna have all of the traps. I can go through there. Is this a way I could go? Yes.
Easy does it.
Let's now do this. Apparently love to set around traps, so I want to keep the bonuses for everyone else for as long as possible. So
Yes.
So.
make sure that it's around for as many as possible before I get rid of the bruise. Oh yeah, these are vessels, so they can all get super dunked by black lightning.
Of course.
Oh, this is a Soul Guardian pillars. Oh, hold on.
Keeping an eye out. There's something you don't see
There
every
we
day.
go. Oh no! Can't fucking use it. Him. Still activated. Yes. Run fuck away.
afford another loss like that.
Oh, okay. That was just right. So that that's an auto targeting thing. Can't run away from that. Boots of Speed, he already has that. Daybreaking, or two-handed also. That counts as a Morning Star, but sure. Destroy spirits on hit. Oh, that could be cool. This is a really neat weapon, but not something that I can utilize very well.
Hey,
So, yeah, this is auto heal. Too bad it doesn't take away, bruises and such. That would have been helpful. Really helpful.
Francis!
Cramps. Oh no! You attacked me from behind.
Francis!
What to do?
That's... They won't see me coming.
Oh. Hey, neat.
And what do we have here?
Okay, a trap that he is too bad. Sure.
Leave it to me!
I need you to step back. Yeah. Oh, maybe even. So this thing could activate like that, and then this. Actually, I can just utilize this then. Boom!
Leave it to me! That's not very helpful.
Go. Guys, just drop like flies.
Of course.
Healed.
They'll never know I'm here.
Oh. Chest. Is not trapped?
I see where you're going with that.
Apparently not. The price. Why? Okay. Oh. What is this then? Oh. A column of odor rises above you, stoic and silent. Its rigid layers are a measuring stick for the passing of ages. It feels to you as a thick block of ice, and you perceive buried deep in its core a dim, flickering flame, all but extinguished, yet preserved against the ravages of the elements. As at your approach, the flame seems to steady and draw strength, and the layers separating it from you melt away. You are bathed in its glow, bright beacon in the gloom. The glow seems to fade, as though you had adjusted to its intensity and where it was. The aurora seeps into existence, an idolic shade hovering above the moist prison floor. Though ageless, she appears somehow different to you now. Slight stoop to her carriage, perhaps, or a trace of sunkenness in her eyes. There is a broad scar across her face. fibrous, wormy where flames once lapped, unhealed even in death.
Hello, old friend. The ages have been kind to you, I hope.
Is this now then?
You are so different now from who you were then,
Yes, okay.
yet much remains the same. Old troubles with a new face. What is it that has brought you here?
It would seem I have unfinished business here.
I'd hoped after our last discussion you would find what you sought. Has it eluded you all this time? I can only guess your presence here has something to do with Theos. The energy of this place changes when he is near. I don't know what he has done, but I do know of the souls that pass through here now. They do not come by choice.
Theos diverted them from the cycle. He seeks to empower Woodica and to blame Animancy for the damage he's caused.
After all this time, he would still stand against the tide.
You knew me when Theos did. There's something I need to know about that time.
I will tell you what I remember.
There's something about that lifetime my soul can't let go of. I need to know what it is, and I'm running out of time. I see moments from that life of you, of the Inquisition. Theos.
I can see his influence, still hanging like a weight about your neck. So it always was. He had inspired something in you. We spoke of him the last time you were here also. It was just after the trial. You were agitated. I think because you started to consider that what I was teaching may have been true.
What was that? Yora's mouth tightens and her brow furrows, a look of pity. Her eyes shift back and forth between each of yours, as if looking for something that would help her decide whether to speak.
That the gods aren't real.
Excuse you? Of course not. It all makes sense now.
Huh. I dreaded the idea from the moment the Delimgon suggested it. And yet, it almost feels like a relief.
Okay.
She's not serious.
Then I have several questions.
What I taught was that the gods whose faith we had been spreading were not gods at all, but something else entirely. Something created by people.
Are we talking about like what are the words for them? Tulpas? Is that what you're talking about? Who created these gods and for what?
They were conceived by Engwith, a society of high minds and
Back to them,
broad
huh?
concerns. Theos's people. In their time, every people worshipped its own gods. Sometimes they warred over it. After a few wars of their own, the Engwithans sought an end to it. They devoted all their energy to finding the true creators. Generation after generation, they prodded and worked the stitching of the world and unlocked its secrets. One day, they found an answer. Except the answer was no answer at all. There were no gods to be found. Or if there ever were, they were gone. It shook them, this finding. If they could discover this on their own, how long until others would? How long before war and chaos reigned over a world without consequence? But they had mastered many things in their pursuit of these answers. And with their mastery, they crafted their own gods to fill the void, and sent missionaries to the corners of the world to spread their faith.
This is why you started your own faith?
I never thought of it as faith, but I think you are right to call it that. Let the world see. Let them decide what to do. That was my faith. I became a missionary because the gods brought me hope that I wanted to bring to others. For a time, the truth sent me to a dark place. Then the day came when I realized nothing had changed, that I still had a purpose, and the purpose was the same and it was worth living for. I began questioning the other missionaries in public, exposing their parlor tricks. In time, their following became mine.
How did you discover this?
The Anguithan missionaries all knew it, but they never told the rest of us. They meant it to be a secret that died with them, and in the end, they allowed their bloodlines to fade from memory. I had been assigned to join a few of them at a temple. I found the door to their chambers closed, but the room was stone and the door thin. Their voices carried. I heard enough. I investigated the things they spoke of, and everything was there, just as they said it'd be.
Is it true what you thought?
You asked me this once before. Nothing I can say would be any proof, and it may be certainty your soul craves. Resolution. But if you are bound for the same place Theos directs these souls, you will see for yourself, as you once did. Everyone faces this truth at one time or another. Few confront it. Few have the stomach to ask what if. And in avoiding the question, they deny themselves an identity of their own.
Eora scans her audience in silence, her eyes thoughtful, lingering on each member of your company in turn, finding interest in things unseen.
What if all the tragedy, all the persecution, came in defense of an imposter?
That's not... That can't be right. Aethys, he's done miracles for people.
The power of the gods is undeniable. The truth of the story they weave is not. What if you had always been alone, without guidance?
Well, as poorly as I've chosen my guides, I suppose it would be a comfort to know that I'm free of them.
The freedom has always been. It was the guidance that was the illusion. What if even mastery over all things cannot answer the most basic of questions?
I stopped asking those questions long ago. It is enough to care for those we love with the time we have in this life.
What if we can be assured of nothing?
Verus, we find purpose in ourselves and in the people in our lives.
There is bliss to be found in the things we create, but sorrow as well. Every creation bears the imperfections of its creator, and its creator's creator. Art and song are creations, but so are weapons and lies. We must be careful that our creations do not consume us. I ask these things not to trouble you, but to show why they must be confronted. No answer is simple, but somewhere between them all lies a truth so beautiful, not even a god could conceive it. Do we not owe ourselves a chance to find our part in it?
Hmm. Hmm.
If that is truly what you believe, then you are a far different person than the one I knew. I've been alone here with my thoughts for so long now. I've found peace with my failures and with my punishment. I no longer curse fate for what might have been. But there is one thing that has clawed and scraped at my mind all these years. One thing that will not be put to rest until I know. Until I understand. I need to know why you chose to remain with the Inquisition, even after you'd learned the truth. Do you you remember?
Oh, cool. I get to just choose. Okay. 3 bad ones towards her. Please go to your capture brought me glory. I was afraid that I don't think I did it. Okay, so almost all of these seem to be I was against you. Selfishness. That's also. Well, she did say you were different, so I guess the old me was against her. I was afraid of what Theos might do to me if I didn't agree to do it. I don't think I had a reason, I just did it. That one is the most mid. I don't. I don't know how that goes to cruel, but I mean, because I don't know what that sentence is supposed to mean. I guess I'll pick. I don't know. I guess I just did it. I guess I don't fucking know.
All these years thinking about it, I don't think I ever imagined you did it without cause. This changes things.
I don't fucking know, dude.
Good. Good. The things I taught, the things I believed, I needed to hear that. I needed to know it wasn't because
I thought Theos was right. Need to know it wasn't because after everything you'd learned, you'd still rather believe in a lie. That is the conclusion people reach once they know everything, that my purpose has been a mistake. Seems a harsh connection to draw.
you were more than a friend. You were the only person I trusted. I always believed in your judgment. Never have I felt so confident in my beliefs as the day you arrived in my camp. You had heard both sides, seen everything. If not you, then who?
Never going to commit anything, true or not, there will. This is the truth.
I expected dissent, but I needed to know that true faith would prevail. Perhaps I've been wrong to place so much importance on one person's actions. It was all I could do to feel like there was an answer. Even knowing what you've told me, some part of me knows it doesn't truly answer what I wished to know, nor will an eternity of silent contemplation. I will have only my guesses and suspicions, and that will have to do. And what of your understanding of our past? Are you at ease with the choice you made?
Either word. Now than I once did, I regret what I did to you. Forgiveness. It wasn't me who made that choice. I bear no responsibility for it. Honestly, that's what I would feel. I'm like, I'm not responsible for this shit. I didn't do it. This other me did it. It wasn't fucking me. But, I don't know.
At first I thought this might be the source of your soul's anguish, but now I see I was mistaken. You are not divided on this matter. You have put it behind you. It is with Theos that your agony lies, in sun and shadow. Your questions are not for me, but for him. And it may be that only an answer from the mouth of Theos himself will satisfy your needs. Yet if there is anything I can tell you that would be of use, ask and you shall know.
Okay, I was speak a deer, and that would be interesting. Speak no language now, but the wordless expressions of the spirit. It is through my connection to you that I am able to draw upon your words. Are you bound here until the end of time?
In a matter of speaking. This is Braeth Yamen, the court of the penitents. Souls are confined here until they repent. They must beg the forgiveness of a god, pledge their soul to them, and they will be lifted from this place to the world above. In truth, they receive leniency, but not true mercy. The spite of Whitaker is eternal. They linger above, at the site of the old court, and are not permitted to leave the island, forever severed from the cycle. This prison was full once in the days of the Inquisition, but time weathers all things, even will. I'm the only tenant who remains. Yet, I feel their presence strongly now, as it was in the beginning. You have brought many of them here. They cry out for the judgment of Theos. You have struck some bargain with the gods, then.
I owe them no debt. Is that true? The thing is, I needed to do a thing which, okay, what did I choose? I need to remember. It wasn't destroy them all. It wasn't, I think it was to return them to the wheel, I believe. I believe that was what I chose. Or who? Which god it was, but...
Better to be on no side at all. Whitaker may be the most dangerous of the gods, but make no mistake. Engwith built gods from ideals, and an ideal on its own is a grotesque and vicious thing. But these souls, these forgiven the gods have bequeathed you like chattel. They were loyal followers in life. They will be with you to the very end.
Oh yeah, the souls to fucking... Why don't you repent, you place?
Last time someone asked me that, I was bound to an iron wheel with a broken spine. There are many things I've come to doubt about the choices I made in life, but that trial was my one moment of certainty, even without a chorus of gods to tell me I had been right. The gods need to be reminded that we have a spirit, and that spirit is proof against their power. They have the power to manipulate and confuse and ruin us, but not to change our will. I will remain here until the world crumbles and fades from existence, with joy in my heart, knowing I've shown them what they truly are.
Fair. This place, Sunny Shadow, what is it? Tell you what I believe, but again, proof. I have only what I have seen and what others have told me about it. There is only one man who can tell you now. Knows it to a certainty. Face him soon. You know what it is I need from Theos.
I could not say for sure. But you have been to Sun and Shadow before, and it came at a crossroads in your life, when much of what you knew had been upended. I have to believe it will come to you there. Your concerns then were of loyalty and trust and the gods. Everything I told you seemed to send you further into doubt. His words mattered to you when you knew him then. After you and I spoke, you went immediately to seek him out. Perhaps you simply sought confirmation from the man you trusted. If something from that time still troubles you, it may be something he told you then, or refused to tell you. He keeps secrets better than any in this world.
Has he done all this?
He cares only for the secret he keeps locked away. He destroys anyone who might discover it, no matter their chances. That's why he's always favored Whitaker. It isn't in her love of promises or justice. It's her disregard for the rules. Her willingness to do what is necessary. To Theos, she's not a deity, but an ally with which to conspire. When her power waxes, she does as she pleases with this realm, as well as hers. And she wants that secret guarded as much as he. If Theos succeeds, there will be a shift in the balance of power among the gods. Woodica was vanquished once when the other gods decided she had gone too far and her power diminished. With this infusion, there is no telling what she will do. The only certainty is that there will be chaos in their realm, as well as ours.
How can I get Theos to tell me what I need to know?
You will not find a more resolute being on all of Eora. There is no offer you could make, nor spell you could cast, nor pain you could inflict that would make him reveal what he hides. But I see you have become a watcher in this life. Perhaps in defeat, when he can no longer defend himself, you might learn something from him. Theos will not wait for you. If you do not catch up to him now, you may never find him again.
Also, they're forgiven. If you repent, you join with them. Help me strike the fire blow against Theos. That would be cool. Your defiance here is an illusion. You are a slave to the gods, bound to their rule, stuck in their system. In your continued existence is proof of the gods' dominion for all of us. If you hadn't planted doubt in my mind long ago, I'd be life right now. Before I go, I would repay you for this curse. Alright, I mean, that's a bit. Interesting. I mean, that would be fun.
If I repent, all I have done has meant nothing.
Fair. Why is that an option? There is a bond now, one that has always been an interleaving of her existence with yours, the extremities of your perception. You're tied to this woman's spirit, and you can feel a measure of control over it, as though you were its shepherd. Disintegrate your soul. Why is this a thing I want? I don't know. Is this a thing I want to do? Now this is a sentence game. I don't say I need to do that. Oh, there we go. I can't even. I don't have enough of the stats at all.
It was good to see you again one last time, old friend. I thought I'd seen my last friendly face long ago. If ever we should meet again, in this life or any other, I hope to find you at peace.
Hey.
There's two stairs?
All right, then. So, it's true. The gods are a sham that people have followed for thousands of years.
Apparently. Hello, chess. Interesting development. Oh, both of them are conversations. What a fucking surprise.
We've been lied to. Our whole lives, and many lives before that. And it's led us to put our faith in a pantheon of gods that never deserved it in the first place.
People need something to believe in. The gods, however they came to be, have served their that purpose.
Indeed. And I fear what would become of the world if people lost that mooring. Even widespread belief in the gods seems like it's barely enough to correct our aimlessness and contain our depravity. I've also been thinking, there won't be much left of Theos by the time you're done with him, if I know how you operate. That will leave the Leaden Key headless. Someone will need to fill that void. Someone who can clean up the mess that Theos has made of it. Then let's face Theos. When this is all over, I'll remember what we've been through. I'll see the leaden key transformed into a stronger, better guide for Kith. And I won't make the mistakes Theos did. Well, doesn't that just beat all? Here I was, wondering all this time whether all these terrible things were people's fault or the gods. Turns out they might be the same thing. Wonder how things would have gone different 15 years ago if the Raid Sarens had been told their god was made in some forge or kiln someplace. Would we still have gone to war?
No point in wondering about what never know.
I could see the rebellion still happening, but I don't know that they would have invaded. I don't know. When Woden left for war, we, had a fight. As brothers will.
What about?
About him going off to war. He was set on it. My parents warned him. They said you get a new country with every trip across the border, but your god, you only get the one. Me? I didn't know who was right. All I knew was I didn't want him to go. It's the same for families as it is for gods. You only get the one. I said every vicious thing I could think of, trying to change his mind. He brushed it off. Just got me madder, of course, him being so calm. He said I should come with him, but he'd understand if I didn't want to. I told him he'd better be able to face his god one day and answer for what he'd done. He said he'd keep that in mind. And then, he was gone. By the time I'd cooled off, months had passed. One morning it dawns on me that my brother always knew better than me. If he was so sure of what he was doing, then I should be there with him. I packed my things and was on the road that same morning. Of course, what I didn't know then was he'd already changed his mind. By that time, he was dead on that field.
Do you think he went to Blade One because you said so?
Crossed my mind. You live in a place like Gilded Vale. You don't have a whole lot else to do other than think about things you don't want to think about. I hope that wasn't it. I hope he went there because it's what he thought was right. But it seems I'm not meant to know.
If you'd left with him, you'd have known why he changed.
If I'd have left with him, we'd both be dead, so I don't know why I bother thinking about it. I found my own way in the end, and it wasn't my brother's and it wasn't my god's. I don't know if it was right. But I couldn't abide what Widewin was doing to his own. God or not, I don't regret it. Whether Widewin was Aothis, well, it hardly seems to matter after what we just heard. And all these questions I've been trying to figure out. I think I just miss my brother. Still one more mess we gotta straighten out. Come on then. I still owe you one.
Well then. Well then. Okay. I have too many saves, bro. Like, oh. Awesome. Alright, before we head down to Sun in Shadow and do whatever, we'll be right back. And we're back. Alright, down we go. There will be some kind of thought that we can just stand. I can rest when I know that that will be the last point. Would have liked to keep my would have liked to keep my Stat bonuses. Oh, look at that. There's a frozen being right there.
They won't see me coming. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't we note a rather sharp drop somewhere around here?
Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, okay. You just disintegrated. Oh, okay. Fork of Souls. You know what? We're gonna just do this right now. Well, what do we think we'll fight against? I don't know. Beasts? Primordial Spirit Vessel? Probably not Wilder. Probably not Beasts. Primordial Spirit of Vessel. Who knows? I'm unsure. Let's just go damage reduction with everyone? Maybe. I don't really know what. Actually, hold on. Consumable duration? Maybe. Maybe actually consumable. I think you should choose which one. Of course, yes. Damage versus flanked. Yep. Definitely consumable duration. Can't do that, so damage reduction is for you. Bam. Oh, your Bruce is gone. You got some more health. Endurance. Fantastic.
Hey.
I don't know if actually we can do this. Guess we got many anyways. Just consume them all.
Hey.
Also, I didn't look at the ability I got. Oh, there goes the souls. Oh. Are they gonna light up the whole place? Yes. It appears so.
Full of surprises, aren't you? Can you do that again? I had something in my eye. I missed most of it.
See.
What is it?
Got steps to the wheel. Once per rest. Foe AoE, paralyzed and sickened. Watcher gives his or her foes a glimpse into the afterlife by displacing their souls, momentarily paralyzing them and leaving them sickened. Neat. I can do that. I can do a big attack, weaken them, and have a bunch of bypass. That's neat. Frighten them. Twice. I can increase my stats. I can heal.
Of course. All right, then.
Grab whatever you have. A diamond. Not that that will matter. There are no traps here. Can I just... Go past boots of speed. Ingwithin Shade. Hold on. These are looking more dangerous, but are they? Who fucking...
That's not very helpful.
Oh, nice. Well, either way, punch him.
Hey there.
Leave it to me. I'll teach you a lesson.
Keep punching him. Punch! Here you go. Punch that ghost.
All right then.
A shadow drake, huh?
That looks like...
What does that mean? Okay. Sure. You say that. Say so. Just do that. We'll do this.
What is
That. Boom. Now we target you. Oh. Oh yeah, everyone just target you. You can't do anything. Now we target these guys and they will die.
Leave it.
They stand no chance. Even if it's like buffed to my level.
Of course.
Quote unquote. Can't really do anything. Oh, there's been several. Seemingly chained. Minor burst of deflection. Guardian's Dome. Okay. Punch the shades again.
That looks like...
You're not getting through me.
Oh, and another one. Fun.
That's not very... Parathis!
That looks like it hurt.
You're not getting through...
Oh yeah, right. I was wondering
Right.
what the fuck was that effect? That was him killing someone with the bow with activated stuff, right?
Of course.
Stats and whatnot. It should. What the fuck does this lead? Fort. Is that where I'm supposed to go? No. Fine pistol, huh?
You're not getting through me.
I'll get the next one.
Boom!
Leave it to me. You're not getting through. Bullseye. You're not getting through me.
There we go. this. Ooh, health potion.
Hey,
Here. I don't know what this will get us there. Necessary, really. Take us there, and then we can go back up. But I don't need to do that. I don't know what that corpse is gonna have, but I don't think it's gonna be needed or have enough use. Where the fuck am I supposed to go? Am I supposed to do that? Oh, right, because of the door. Right. Forgot there's the door as well. Let's go through the door. Mm-hmm. Do you think this is a boss arena? I don't know. I can't think. I don't know if this could be it. Seems a bit vague to me.
hey.
Scroll of defense. I don't think I will need that, but if I won't be able to use it when I'm in combat, because no one has it on them. Oh well, these all just give me stuff.
Are you ready to take the oath? To spread the word of the gods to the lost and heathen?
2 rings of unshackling. What does that mean? Suppress affliction.
I am trusting you to remain loyal to the gods of this.
Well,
If you do not, you will have greater powers than me to answer to. But you will answer to me as well.
too fucking bad for you.
I wouldn't ask this were there any other choice.
This is a missionary, same as I was. Taught the wrong things as I was. Oceanus. They have held off many would-be invaders.
You are ready to give a confession?
I am ready to hear one from you.
Alright, Theos. Prepare to not be ready for me to be able to summon in an archmage to help me. Because, I will. I will do just that. There's nothing you can do to stop me. Except maybe you could always paralyze me, in which case I won't be able to do that. But that would be cheating. Not that, you know, I can do the same. Stun and whatnot.
Hey,
Alright, everyone, time to eat up. How many of these things do I have? These give resolve and not might. Resolve and 3 resolve, 3 might. Well, because I gave max into it's fine. Max endurance. Right. guys has eaten everything they need. Alright, let's go.
Of course.
Theos, you shit. Come at me. Wherever you are. Oh, yes. You've come to a circular room, grand and domed, its walls lined with Audra and trimmed with copper. At the far end of a great pillar of Audra pierces... Far end, a great pillar of Audra pierces the floor from below like a ragged spike, shimmering a texture giving the illusion of boundless depth. Your thoughts are yours, and not yours, and they are all questions. At the base of the pillar stands Theos, a look of concern on his face as he notes your approach. You have something you want to ask him. One question above all others, spinning madly in your mind. You don't dare ask it yet. You need some admission from him first, some hint of the veracity of your suspicions.
You are far from your post, Inquisitor. What brings you here?
What is this place?
We are in a sanctum holy to Utica. There are others like it in service to the other gods. I come here often to pray for her counsel, and in this space I may be assured that she hears me.
All these statues, who are they of?
They are monuments to Utica's greatest servants among my people. I hope to join them myself one day, but my work is not yet complete.
That machine behind you, what does it do?
It has many uses, but its purpose is to bring structure to the chaos that surrounds it.
Giovanna telling the truth?
That woman sought only to destroy the foundations of peace and civility that my people sacrificed everything to build.
It's the entire Inquisition based on a lie.
The Inquisition was based on the need to cut the flesh from a rotting wound.
You are shaky now, having lost all patience for tact. No more evasions. You have to know. Everything you believed, everything you have done for the gods. Did you lie to me when you said the gods could end suffering? Theo says nothing. Are there no gods?
What is a god? A higher power? A rewarder of good deeds and punisher of the wicked? Something men can turn to in their darkest moments when their days seem only like bridges from one tragedy to the next. Our gods are all these things.
Theo's every word. Find yourself losing control of a boiling cauldron of rage, doubt, and fear and hopelessness until you can take it no more. I can't yell this. I would like to, but no. Are there no gods?
We are in a sacred place within earshot of the gods themselves. This is not the time. You've been through much these past few months. You will return home and you will rest. When you feel you have recovered, you may rejoin us at the trials. The Inquisition is far from over, and I will have need of you. There are many who continue to spread the lies of the apostate. The Inquisition will not end until we have pronounced judgment on all of them.
Its eyes linger on you. There is no mistaking the threats behind it. Your rage shrinks at the image of an iron wheel on your mind. Monolithic and caked with the dried blood of thousands. Do not ask your question again. Oh, he's taking off his mask? No? Or just his hood?
How did you find it?
Oh, wait a minute. How did you? I didn't. It was Lady Webb.
Another in a string of acts of petty defiance. For all her knowledge, she always preferred spite over reason.
She loved you.
Then she should have obeyed. I ask one thing of all my followers. She was incapable. A waste of rare talent and intellect.
Blind obedience is a lot to ask of someone with a mind of their own.
What of your cohorts, then? They have followed you to their deaths. Is it loyalty that brings them here? Or is it, as my agents suggest, that they have no direction of their own? You worshipped Aethys, did you not?
Your spies are good. What gave me away? The cape?
Yet when your god needed you the most, you chose your country.
We were being invaded. Not by anyone who was acting like a god.
Then I should think your hometown gave you a hero's welcome when you returned.
They made cake. Hard to blame people for losing faith when it's the gods who are misbehaving.
The gods argue over how best to prevent Kith society from destroying itself. These disruptions would not be necessary were mortal instinct not so diseased. I understand your Duke's bells gave you a mission.
Their orders do not absolve me of my greater responsibility to the safety and well-being of the republics.
You might want to skip over this one, Theos. Don't want to pick a fight you can't win.
Yet you disobeyed. Something you already have a reputation for. They will know, of course. If it had been for a worthy cause, they might have forgiven you. But I don't see them pursuing animancy after seeing what it's done here. They trusted you, and you disappointed, as you always have. And you will again be disowned.
The parents scold, but the children are safe. Whether animancy research continues in the republics or not, they will survive. For now, that's enough. In any case, I wouldn't be so smug about my fate, Theos. I imagine Woodica responds to disappointment much more severely than even my dukes.
State your name and purpose, young acolyte.
Oh.
My name belongs to the gods, in my hand to their service. And I'm going to purge it of your stain.
You serve none but yourself. Without contact with your order, you can have no higher purpose. Only the base concerns of the flesh. You have cast yourself from our ranks.
No. I've risen above them. I'll take the leaden key and lead in a way that you, who remained nothing more than a slave to the gods, never could.
A leader without insight, directing an organization that does not question. Quite a vision, Initiate. You are here because you are lost. The gods cannot reach everyone, I'm afraid. May you fare better in your next lives. I gather you have had your soul awakened. Why else would you shadow my footsteps like some stray mongrel? You think I have something to offer you, but our business was concluded long ago.
What do you know of our business?
You think your abilities only flow in one direction. That isn't how it works, I'm afraid. Not for me. For all that you saw of my soul in the sanitarium, I saw as much of yours.
One of us is going to die in this room. You may as well admit your lie to me before that.
I answered your questions once. That your soul is not fit to accept the answers is of little concern to me. I lied to no one. Not to you, not to anyone. The gods are real. They are everything we need them to be, and the world is better for it.
You denied a generation its place in the world.
The heart of this country has skipped a beat. Nothing more. I have done far worse. I plunged the peaceful kingdom of Telosus into civil war. I slew the monarch of Desantio, whose people never knew hardship under his rule, and replaced him with a cruel despot who brought them to ruin. When plague arrived at the great city of Arborensis, I saw to it that the cure did not. They piled their dead outside the city in heaps that rose above their walls.
This is supposed to diminish the damage you've done here.
It is to show the proper perspective. There was a time, back when your soul was still a shapeless mist, when the world believed only in false gods. Thousands of them. Gods that told them to take slaves. Gods that told them to make war upon their neighbors and devour the slain. Gods that told them to burn their children alive and cover themselves in the ashes as a sign of their faith. But all that changed when they learned of the true gods. Our gods. All those misshapen, bestial instincts melted beneath the radiance of our god's majesty. You could see it in their eyes. That dull emptiness replaced with the glimmer of a kindled spark.
Teaching them that there were no gods would have achieved the same purpose.
And replaced it with one far worse. Have you imagined this existence? The one the apostate would have created. We are not all so virtuous as she. Without our gods, the most wicked, the most tyrannical, they would take that power for themselves. But more than that, it would be a hollow existence. All mysteries forever unanswered. All purposes constructed from meaninglessness. No endings to bring closure. Only a wheel, turning without mercy, grinding our spirits to dust.
For that, then live a lie.
Telling yourself each day that what you do matters, that it isn't all for nothing, that the world is just. The apostate's world is built on believing lies. All I have seen, the millennia of experience. I will not be dissuaded from this course. This is the only way.
At least admit it. Admit to me that the gods are not true gods. To hear it from you.
You have not thought this through. There is no leaving this place for you. I allowed it once, but you have made it all too clear what a mistake my mercy was. With your soul and thousands of others, I will see this world purged of its suffering. Hear me, Woodica. Your servant calls for aid. Roak 10!
You. Oh, really now? Oh, really now? Immune to charmed, confused, diseased, dominated, poisoned, sick, and unconscious. Resistance to a lot more. Okay, do I know anything about you? You're not immune to anything. That's funny. Okay. Was there only two? Yeah, seemingly. And you're in such a shit position. Okay, well, number one, you. Move there. Move you out of the way. You. They do have resist against stunned. You take care of you. You. Care of that one. Target him. What is he casting? I don't even see what that is. That's unfortunate. Okay, now you're moving the one away. You're getting him. You're getting him. You're getting him. Okay, time for me. Well, might as well start with the best thing I can. And then you will start with that. He might be able to, he just might move. Is he planning on buffing himself? Okay, you casted something. I don't know what. Symbol of Woodica. Oh, you planted something on the ground. Let's see. Oh, this guy is stunned. Okay. You hurt him. I activated my power now. Wait. Should have. Activate that. Now, since you are here...
What is it?
Yes, okay. Go for him. Go for him to attack. And you keep attacking him. Throw another stun. You cast that one. I cast my thing. Yeah, they've been hit. They've been being hit by lightning. Oh. Oh, now Crush is resistant. Huh? See, I do. Okay, fire stack. Actually, what could I? Oh, you. He dead. Here we go. Summon that. Activate your staff. Fucking fight it. You two beat the shit out of him. Destroyed. Sorry, but you're nothing. I'm way stronger than you. At your feet rests the body of Theos, hollow. Dense wrinkles shaped by the silent shouldering of an internal burden now smoothed across his color-drained face. His soul remains still for the moment, defenseless, its energy expended in defeat. It lies sprawled across his body like a death shroud.
In his own way, Theos must have truly believed he was caring for the people of Aora, protecting them from themselves. A shame his soul won't have a chance to reflect on his errors before it enters the wheel.
Some point, you have to look at the things your god is telling you to do. And ask yourself if it's worth it. All those lives. And at the end of them, he was no better than the very people he sought to guide. A pity he would ever have to face that realization again.
With a deep breath, you plunge into Theos' soul. Where in Brackenbury it had been a maze of narrow corridors and dead ends, now it is expansive and borderless. Its walls crumbling into heaps like the ruins of Ingwith as you pass through them. Travel for what seems like ages, rushing to a known destination, a memory you glimpsed once before. At last you see it, no more than a pinprick of light at the end of a long tunnel, expanding slowly at first, then quickly as you near. You come out in the room you are standing in now, but it is new and pristine and filled with people, thousands of them, all turned towards the great Audra pillar and the machine that encases it. Theos stands at the machine. You are one with him now. Look out at the crowd, at faces of shriveled old men and cherub-cheeked little girls, at mothers bouncing infants to quiet them, and fathers clasping their children's restless hands and watching you with somber acceptance. A woman with tears in her eyes gives you a small nod. You turn back toward the machine, your breaths constricted beneath the weight of unwanted knowledge, preparing yourself to set out alone on a journey without end. Close your eyes and open them again, to find the machine still in front of you, beckoning. Take your place in front of it. Place your hands upon a large mechanical disc at the base of the great crystal column, and speak a single word. Giant rings creak to life, building speed, setting arrays of carved draconic mouths aglow, and sending tremors to the platform beneath you. The entire room shakes now with the force of the accelerating machine, all sound drowned out by its deep, deafening thrum. Brilliant tendrils of light arc outwards from the pillar in all directions, and you look over your shoulder to see them engulfing the crowd, burning them brightly like hot iron. One by one, the tendrils disappear, leaving ashen effigies where people once stood. many of them disintegrating into grey heaps under the stress of the tremors. You look above to the outer pillar, and the glowing spherical mass has begun to coalesce atop the column where the arcs converge. It grows and pulses, translucent and bulbous like some immense chrysalis, suspended in slow rotation as though it was being spun from the arcs of light. When the last arc disappears, the spectral mass hangs in a moment, no longer rotating, so bright you must shield your eyes with an outstretched hand. It seems to you as though it is looking at you. You bow your head in acknowledgement and look back up to see it melt into the pillar like warm candle wax. The pillar flares, the flash of light bright as the sun itself, then fades to darkness. The machine slows down to an abrupt halt. When the last echo of its grinding cogs has passed, the chamber is still. You are alone. From all sides, reality begins to bleed in through the memory. You find yourself in your own skin once more, looking down on Theos' lifeless body. You sense a listlessness to Theos' soul, an overwhelming fatigue that hinders its immediate escape, makes it vulnerable to manipulation. You feel as though your victory has given you some kind of hold over it, and you are able to do with it as you please. Interesting. Oh, there's 2 for tear his soul apart. Nice. Ulrich, remember this, Theos. Remember that no man can hide the truth forever, and all you've done in futility. Memory shall be your penance. And still to I'll believe the general gist. The souls that have been taken was to return to the wheel. The thing is, however, that also actually that was before we knew that whether or not they were gods, or we thought they were, but they aren't. So, although they still have power, so could just say fuck you. But I don't know what they will do. Or that one that I almost I mean, this seems like the most spiteful one almost, honestly, and it still does the thing that I said I was going to do. Also, it's not a sure thing that he will awaken, so fuck you, do that.
Some acts cannot be forgiven, it seems.
Feel the pull of the intricate Audra pillaries that rise up from the depths below the chamber. Many are bound up with the great pillar and would pass to Utica, but some are filled with the souls of the dead, bound for somewhere else entirely. You know these are paths of rebirth. Stretching your presence as far as your spirit will allow, you make contact with one such path, and between it and yourself, you open up what feels like a long tunnel, sheer and undulating, like the gullet of some enormous beast. Shift your focus to Thea's soul, clinging weakly to its vanquishing shell. With all your concentration, you wrench it free and send it hurtling through the channel until it passes into the Audra vein and can be felt no more. The stillness that follows, a single word echoes through your mind. The word you spoke when you were one with Theos in an ancient memory. You realize it is the word that activates the machine.
Astounding. I always knew the Leaden Key stood for something big, but I didn't quite realize what I'd gotten myself into. And now, you're in the middle of something even bigger. With a decision that will affect millions. This is beyond either of us. The certainty of the gods is a mercy. Power like this is a heavy burden. Just look at how it crushed Theos. Perhaps he was right to surrender it to Woodica.
No.
It's your decision, of course. And whatever you decide, I'm glad our paths crossed in Gilded Vale.
So much for Theos, then. Now you have a chance to set things right, back to the proper order of things. It will take the Deerwood generations to recover, but at least these souls will find their way back to the wheel, as it should be.
I mean, that is what I said I would do, but you say that as if I...
Theos, he had hold of your soul from a long time back, seems like. You get what you needed from him?
Without justice.
Not many can say that these days. Not with the gods using the world to settle their problems. You'll be feeling better soon then. Good. That's real good. You got it figured out what you're going to do about all that?
Yes.
Got a lot of people out there thinking they've been abandoned by their gods. There's not much that'll put the fear in you more than that. You can take my word for it. If it was in my power, and I know it's not, but if it was, I'd find a way to give them the courage to face it. Not because they think there's some god looking out for them, but because they've just got it in them. And after what you've been through, though, I'm sure you got your own ideas. Better make it good.
Right, because I think with Aethys, maybe there was one of them, there were with the three that was like use the souls to strengthen the people that already lives or something like that, and that would be this kind of thinking.
Hey.
I believe. Boy. As you approach the machine, the path underfoot suddenly changed to a cobbled road. If you hadn't experienced visions like this already in Terra Evron, you'd be tempted to believe that the machine had sucked you into it and deposited you in the middle of nowhere. The sun blazes overhead, and the rolling meadows and thick forests on either side of the road could be anywhere in the Deerwood. A shrill cackle turns your head. Standing next to you is a malnourished man clad in a threadbare loincloth and manacles. His entire body is stripped with lash marks. There are scarred pits where his nose and ears should be. He stinks of stale sweat and unwashed filth. You notice someone wandering down the road, but the figure's back is to you. The scarred slave has your attention for now.
You know something of quiet servitude, Watcher. Groveling and simpering before the gods whose aid you need, so that when they finally raise you to a place of power, you can seize what you desire. You have labored at the pleasure of others. That shriveled hag in Hadrat House, those pompous deer wooden zealots, the wretched tribesmen playing out their fantasies of grandeur. And then you cowered and knelt before the gods themselves, begging one paltry favor and receiving riddles and visions in response.
Aren't you one of them?
And now the gods give you orders and commands, even while you set out to fix what they cannot. Yet what have they offered you?
They offered us the means to stop Woodica and Theos. That's enough for me. Given the breadth of the iron manacle, it's amazing that he can raise his bone-thin arm. But he does, and he points to the person walking the other way along the road.
The exiled queen is not an ungrateful patron.
Get a better look at the lone figure and realize that she's wearing robes, tattered and singed, but fine nonetheless. On her head is the silhouette of a broken crown. Continues walking, her pace slow but determined.
Finish the work Theos began. Strengthen Woodica with these souls and allow her to become the most powerful of all the gods, with you as her favored.
Get fucked? That. Helping Woodka would mean that the secrets of the gods stay hidden. Safely hidden, yes, from the violent overlords who would cease to fear punishment in the next life. The heavy-handed masters who would answer to no one. The world needs some schemes. Or are the souls of Kith so pure that you would snap the tenuous threads that bind society? Unsavory as it sounds, there is wisdom in this. Remember the riots in Defiance Bay. What kind of madness would people like that reach without the confines and promises of the I've been working against Woodka this whole time. Why would she thank me now after I've defeated her most loyal servant? Loyal and weak, Theos proved his inadequacy when he failed to anticipate you. Plan exposed is worse than none at all. But you have proven resourceful, equal to the schemes of gods. Woodka has a long memory. Watcher, for both friends and foes. She keeps her oaths. What do you mean by her favored? Recipient of Woodka's blessings. He has always had a place for mortals of particular merit. If you help her now, she will become the most powerful of all gods. You will be the one who made her so. Think of the lifetimes of rewards you would reap. Equal parts madness and idiocy. Why would we form an alliance with one who has opposed us at every turn? So says your companion who's been abandoned by her own country. Do you really trust her to make alliances for you? Explain the alternative, Watcher. Continue as a pawn of the gods or a partner. Fuck you.
You say that now, but when you're standing in front of the machine, considering the lifetimes and the powers that await you, we'll see what you do.
All these evils we've seen, going all the way back to the Saints' War. It was all Woodka. Imagine if she was stronger on top of it all.
Hey.
Yeah, no. Your companions bearing witness, you step up to the place where Theos once stood before his people long ago. The great machine lies in front of you, idle, ready. You have seen this machine and others like it in operation. You understand how it works. It is a device for directing souls. As a watcher, it would be a simple matter to influence that direction. Though as big as the machine is, maybe the last thing you ever do. There is a shrieking of stone grinding against stone as old cogs loosen and begin to turn. You have only moments before the souls will be sent into the other vein. This will be your only chance at redirecting them. And this will back to return souls to the bodies they were intended for. Oh yeah, right. And probably just increase. Allowance of best. Back. And the souls back into reincarnation cycle. I'm pretty sure that was what I was supposed to do, or what we came to an agreement with, and also what I feel like is reasonable. Close your eyes and expand your perception outward, taking in the immense totality of the tens of thousands of souls orbiting the chamber. Your grasp on the souls is tenuous. You find yourself fighting to keep them all within your influence, and you can feel them slipping away from you as the machine gains speed. A brief moment comes when it feels as though you hold all of them at once, and their force is so great it feels as though they will tear you apart. In that moment, you dedicate your entire being to bending their orbit, channeling their flow in a new direction.
At your command, the ancient device became your instrument, spinning to life with deafening resonance and gathering up the swirling essence like thread on a great spindle. There, in the pale, pulsing glow of the machine that set you on this path long ago, you summoned all your strength, focusing on your objective and blocking out all else. With a single concussive blast that rocked the chamber and sent you tumbling to the ground, you freed the souls from their stasis. Exhausted, your consciousness slipping away, your last sight was of the machine, dark and dormant. Then your eyes closed, and sleep welcomed you at long last. After coming to and searching for some time, you discovered the route Theos used to enter Sun and Shadow, and embarked on a long and arduous ascent back to the surface. You emerged in Ter Evron after days of tunneling through the rubble Theos had left behind, and when you stepped into the daylight, you were faced with a different Deerwood than the one you had left. At your direction, the lost souls of the Hollowborn were funneled back into the churn of Bareth's wheel to find their way into new vessels and partake in the life they had been denied during Widewind's legacy. Though parents of Hollowborn would remain just that, the end of Widewind's legacy would bring about a spate of new, healthy births, with many of the infants bearing souls once meant for Hollowborn children. The natural cycle of life and death had been restored to Deerwood, and with it came a renewed faith in the providence of the gods. Gilded Vale remained under the harsh rule of Lord Radric, who reigned unopposed after the death of his cousin Kolsch. He continued to terrorize the people of Gilded Vale, looking for Aerthasians in their midst. But to Radric, the sudden and unexpected end to Widewind's legacy came as a sign of the success and righteousness of his efforts, and in time his own people came to believe it too. He relaxed his use of authority, no longer seeing his own people as potential threats, and Gilded Vale began to regain some of its old luster. Following the assassinations of Duke Avar
No,
Wolfgrim
this
and
is
Lady
this
Webb,
is the end of the
Defiance
base
Bay
game.
was
So this
thrown
is
into
the end of the
political
game.
upheaval. In the ensuing weeks, the streets had become the domain of looters and blackguards. Few dared to step outside their own doors alone or unarmed. But once the dozens had regrouped in the wake of the riots, they quickly put an end to the criminal activity. They patrolled the streets in droves and administered their brand of law on any perceived offenders. This was not the erratic justice of the mob, however. The dozens had taken to heart the strengths of their adversaries, the Knights of the Crucible, and emerged as a far more organized, disciplined force. With the waning strength of the other Defiance Bay powers, the leadership of the dozens took the opportunity to establish its own group as the dominant peacekeeping force in the city. The dozens would soon find themselves overwhelmed by the problems of a leaderless metropolis. But they found an uneasy new partner in the surviving forces of the Crucible Knights, who understood the city's infrastructure and were able to keep the worst of its problems under control.
That's neat.
Though the machine atop Ter Noaneth had been disabled, it had not seen its last use. Heritage Hill was rebuilt, and no sooner had the first families moved in to resettle the district than members of the Leaden Key, acting under standing orders from their Grand Master, climbed the tower and reactivated the machine. The initiates slew a handful of the new settlers under cover of night and watched as history repeated itself, the victims reanimating and devouring the survivors. After this second incident, the district would remain abandoned. The Duke's assassination at the apparent hands of an animancer had caused catastrophic rioting in the streets of Defiance Bay. But those who had escaped the melee in the palace hearings remembered the testimonies of the strange guest who had shown up that day and absolved animancy, implicating the Leaden Key instead. The rumor spread quickly, and soon the popular belief was that the assassin had been a Leaden Key spy. When the legacy had lifted, people came to see it not as a sign that the riots had been according to the gods' wishes, as Theos had hoped, but as a confirmation that animancy had never been the source of the problem in the first place. Deerwoodans instead convinced themselves that the riots had somehow purged Defiance Bay of Leaden Key spies, and that the end of Widewind's legacy was their well-deserved reward. The rage against animancers was quickly forgotten, and those who had survived were permitted to return to Brackenberry Sanitarium and rebuild it so they might resume their studies. The town of Deerford had seen the last of the cult of Scan. Dark rumors about the town's many curses quickly faded, and travelers soon returned.
How did I influence that?
Abidon's renewal brought new
Alright.
vigor and purpose to a god long known for quiet, steady labor. Handicraft saw a revival in the Deerwood, and no smith wanted for an apprentice. Additionally, Abidon's restored interest in preservation led to redoubled efforts to survey Engwithan ruins. Animancers and craftsmen alike found much to study, but tensions with Aer Glanfath rose. As for Stalwart, the Battle of Caeron's Scar only strengthened their resolve to unlock the mysteries of Durgan's Steel, and build new marvels with the White Forge. However, Stalwart's ambitions brought them into further conflict with the Red Serens, as more and more impoverished communities gathered at the border and vowed to finish the work of the Iron Flail. It would be many generations before the region saw peace. The Flames That Whisper clan found a cautious peace with Stalwart, particularly once the villagers heard of the aid the ogres had offered against the ice.
Sure.
The clan
I didn't
moved
really
back
use
into
that,
the
but
Russet Wood, and as Stalwart grew in prestige, the villagers formed a tighter alliance with their ogre neighbors. Within a generation, ogre traders visited Stalwart, and village hunters were welcome in the Russet Wood.
nice.
Maneha never found the Salt Well, but she found a kind of peace in her
'cause
duties
I
as a gift bearer
didn't you do her
and in
quests?
the ebb and flow of her journeys. As she traveled and accepted burdens from Andra's supplicants, she saw in their
Literally
eyes a
didn't
kind
even
of
begin
peace
her
that she had
quests.
not previously noticed. It was faith, not that Andra had freed them of their pain, guilt, and regret, but that she would, a little more each year. With that realization, Maneha learned to accept that Andra's ways were as gradual as they were inexorable. The fortress of Cadnua emerged as a bastion of security in the midst of an untamed land, becoming the envy of every thane and earl in Deerwood. Legend grew over time of its impregnability, and stories of formidable invaders easily scattered by the keep's defenses became popular around the hearths of Deerwood inns. Likewise, it also became a beacon to travelers, merchants, and visiting dignitaries alike. Reputed as the finest fortress in all Deerwood, people would journey from near and distant lands alike to experience its fabled hospitality and grandeur.
Oh yeah.
After the death of the master below, a strange quiet fell over the endless paths of Adnua. The attacks on the fortress above ceased, Adnua's silent titan the closest remaining thing to a master in its musty, forgotten passages. Palagina had gone against the Duke's Bell's orders by inventing a new trade arrangement with the Anamenfath to accommodate the recovering Deerwooden market. With the Deerwood's people still weakened by Weidman's legacy, the Valian republics easily pushed their would-be competitors out of the market. For her outrageous insubordination and audacity, Palagina was banished from the republics. She traveled north in the Eastern Reach, avoiding Valian ports and entering the ranks of the kind wayfarers. Despite her bravery and dedication to those in her care, her strange appearance made her feel like an outsider wherever she went. Adair chose not to return home to Gilded Vale. Still most comfortable far from cities, he settled in Deerford, which, like many towns in the Deerwood, was beginning the slow process of rebuilding. Believing now that it was the obligation of Kith to be the leaders their gods had not, Adair was soon named mayor of the town, and under his guidance, Deerford soon began to prosper. He expelled the last of the
Oh,
Scourge
that's how
from the
that
area
happened.
and drew new settlers with the offer of land.
I was wondering
a
how the
trick
fuck
he had
did I
learned from someone
do
he
that?
otherwise preferred to forget. With each passing day, Deerford would come to more closely resemble the Gilded Vale of Adair's childhood, the one worthy of its name. When the dust settled in sun and shadow, Aloth looked upon the remains of Theos Ix Arcanon, his former master. He saw where the Grandmaster had gone wrong, and he knew what he would do better. The secret of the gods would be preserved, and with it, the sanity and well-being of all Kith. He donned the remains of Theos's ceremonial garb and prepared himself for the long and lonely task ahead. With both their aims fulfilled, Kanarua bid the Watcher farewell and sailed back to his beloved Rawatai. There, he reported on his findings to the Lore College. Kana spoke of the Ingwithan people, describing both their vile experiments and their inspiring accomplishments. He spoke too of the destruction of the tablet by the Leaden Key, and the group's efforts to erase the Ingwithan legacy from the world. Both inspiration and cautionary tales, he said, could be found in the world beyond Rawatai's borders. Kana urged his people to continue to pursue knowledge abroad, so that the lessons found there might benefit Tekoa. Kana's inability to prove his theory of Ingwithan influence diminished his academic standing. but his passion drew much interest from those less concerned with degrees. Kana swiftly became an influential figure in the move toward a more collaborative approach to expansion on the northern continent. In his personal life, he came to enjoy the reputation of an affable eccentric, willing to share grand and impossible secrets, along with a drink and a song. With Theos defeated and the souls released from
The
Sun and
person I
Shadow,
didn't interact with
healthy
at all,
children
almost.
were born once again in the Deerwood. The grieving mother sought a place where she might do penance for the birthing bell. She returned to Deerford, where, to the astonishment of the villagers, she delivered the first healthy child in over a decade. She remained there, and with each new birth, she saw a measure of hope restored to the Deerwood, and a measure of grace from
Somehow her
own
shit
troubled
worked
past.
anyways.
Durrance continued to blame Woodica for the atrocities of the Saints' War. Believing Magrin to have been a pawn in the machinations of the Queen that was, and feeling that Theos's expulsion had been a step towards reconciliation with his goddess, Durrance tried for a time to reopen communication with her. When only silence came, he took it as a condemnation of his continued existence. Ultimately, he built a pyre and threw himself upon it, using his own shattered staff as kindling. You
Well.
and Sagani never found Persok together. The Adra figurine had gone dark by the time they emerged from Sun and Shadow, and it was another month before Sagani finally accepted that Persok's trail had gone cold again. Her search took her beyond the Deerwood and as far as the Living Lands. She saw the great coastal cities of Rawatai and the ruins of Old Valia, absorbing the details of these strange and distant lands. 20 years passed before the Adra figurine finally glowed again. When it did, she followed its signal to a quiet hamlet on the outskirts of Adir. There, she met a young farmer and told her of her past as an elder of Masuk. Sagani returned to a village that had forgotten her face, but remembered her story. Masuk greeted her with cautious warmth, and Sagani found that their ways had become strange to her. She also learned that Kalu had perished of winter fever a few years before, and her middle child, Najuo, had died in a raid. But she found her daughter Yakona a hunter and mother of 3, and her son Malak a builder of mighty walls. In them, she came to find her place in the village, and the familiar contours of a world that had changed in her absence. For you, the death of Theos brought an end to your waking visions, and a silence to the whispers of the past. In their absence, you were able to sleep. The questions of a distant lifetime ceased to trouble your soul. All that remained was what to make of the answer. But at the moment, there was little to be done, and the matter would have to wait. A long journey loomed ahead.
Hey. Fantastic. I can choose speeds times 8 speed. Fuck, dude. How fucking... Oh, you can do slower. You can even stop it. Times 6. Jesus. Times 32. That sure is very fast. It makes me very fucking dizzy if I even try to look at the text. Oh, let's... Okay, I'm just not gonna look at the text. Clearly. Fuck, that hurts my eyes. Oh, and there's gonna be a lot. Like, okay, special... There... Oh, here comes all the backers, I'm guessing. All the fucking... Reaching C, D, E, F, maybe H... Ugh. Yeah, this is all the backers. We could have potentially found on random graves and whatnot with comments that they put. Oh no. Yeah, Bella's returning. Woo! Fantastic. Now I can finally play 2. And that took like 100 and what hours? That took 107 hours. Probably a little more. Yeah. Okay, well then. That's cool. I don't think there's anything else. No, there's nothing else in this game to do. That was everything. So, I will not be streaming 2. I will be playing that on my own. Most likely. Because that game is also going to be long as fuck. I am trying to utilize these streams to play new games and games generally shorter than 100 hours. So I can get to fucking play more of them. But anyways, yeah, so the next game will be, hold on. Remember how is it? It's Ender Lilies is what the game is called. Here we go. I always get confused because of Elden Ring having Elden, but it's Ender Lilies. Not Elden or Elder or whatever. Yeah, we will be playing that on Friday.